Hi, I am a student from Harmony Public Schools. My project is determining which exercise raises heart rate the most, and the purpose is to identify a high-intensity exercise that will raise heart rate enough but not cause too much pain. Science principle applied here was cardiac input and oxygen intake. Essentially, when exercising, the body requires more oxygen as well as energy. However, the oxygen within your body is stored in red blood cells and is transferred to the rest of the body through hemoglobin, the protein that's inside the red blood cells. Because the body requires more oxygen, especially in high-intensity exercises, the heart beats faster to pump oxygenated blood so it can reach the rest of the body. In order to conduct this experiment, I required very few materials, but instead needed reliable test subjects. To receive accurate results, I had only needed 3 test subjects to perform each exercise, being burpees, jumping jacks, and sprinting, at 1-minute intervals with breaks in between, to ensure there was no overlap. I would then measure the pulse of each test subject using their radial artery and would record it using simply just pen and paper. Besides this, I also need a timer to measure 1 minute and 10 seconds for each exercise and to measure the BPM respectively. The idea and also inspiration behind this project came from a few years ago. In addition, this is my ELA component. To summarize, a long time ago, I remember having anxiety and intruding thoughts because I would tire easily after doing gym exercises in school. Watching everyone else be able to keep going while I was trying my best, but still struggling, really reflected my poor physical health and worsening mental health. I literally thought I was in trouble, so as a result, I tried exercising more and more. At first, I started off with full-on sprinting, which, when I look back at now, was a huge mistake. After that, I tried other exercises, one of them being jumping jacks, and found it wasn't as tiring, leading me to the idea of improvement. I did more and more, and eventually I did sprinting again, only to find it was still as difficult with barely any change in distance. Years later, it would bring me to this project. The social studies component of this exercise is a historical connection. Despite the modern technology and innovation we have to measure the pulse, measuring the pulse has been around for centuries. Both back then and to this day, the pulse is how we describe life. If there's no pulse, that person is not alive. Another historical influence is the names of the terms describing the pulse. Think about terms such as pulsus paradoxus, bigeminal, or dichrotic, all coming from Latin. Ancient civilizations such as the Chinese and Egyptians were both known for their art in medicine and taking the pulse. All in all, the pulse is how the health status of a person could be determined without being seen, much before the technology we have today was created. After conducting the experiment, I found that my hypothesis turned out to only be semi-true. Yes, burpees raise heart rate the most. However, the mid-value was not sprinting, rather jumping jacks. I think this flaw in prediction was due to my belief that jumping jacks were the least intense of the 3, and would take several hours without stopping to reach the same heart rate as the others. To summarize the data, the exercise that raised heart rate the most was burpees, following that was jumping jacks, and lastly was sprinting. In the data, it seemed like there were a few irregularities, most likely due to a difference in effort levels between participants. Also, after each subject completed every exercise, they were asked which one was the most difficult, to which all of them responded burpees. Furthermore, the next 2/3 of them reported sore in the arms. In the end, I can conclude from my tests and notes that the best exercise to do not only provide the most exercise while not also having many consequences is therefore jumping jacks. It's much easier to perform than sprinting or burpees, can go just as long, and raises heart rate enough just to help one achieve proper fitness easily. Anyways, thank you for watching.